Hey, welcome back to Bobb-z Callahan Word of Advice. And for this Word of Advice video, I wanted to talk about the topic of admitting our troubles. I know this may not always be the easiest thing to do. You know, if we've got a problem and we know what's going on, but not many other people do, and we're thinking we should admit it to somebody. I know sometimes we may think to ourselves, I don't want to bother that person with my problems, or I'm so cool and I've got my pride, so I don't want to make it look like I'm going through a sad time, or perhaps I have this problem and it's so big I won't know how to express it. Or maybe some of you are thinking, if I talk to somebody about my problem, then they'll judge me. I know sometimes this thought process can go through our minds when we are thinking about admitting our troubles, and I'm sure it has stopped somebody from admitting something, or it has made it very difficult for them. And honestly, if there is anything I would want to say when it comes to admitting our troubles to somebody, I very much believe that if we are going through a hard time and a problem is really bothering us, then it doesn't hurt to open up to somebody and just talk to that person about what's going on. And who knows, I mean, the person you talk to may even offer a very creative solution to whatever you're going through. I believe it is much healthier for us to open up to people whenever we are going through a big problem, or maybe even a little problem. I believe it's much healthier than bottling up whatever we're feeling and bottling up the problem, because if we bottle up the problem, then that's only making it more likely that more negative thoughts are going to creep through our head, and that can make us feel even worse. When we're talking to somebody, though, you know, if we've got a good friend that we know who we're talking to, then that friend can be a source of comfort whenever we're going through a hard time. And you know, sometimes the words people say can be very comforting as well. And I believe it's much better to take that route of admitting the problem to somebody than bottling up our problems and whatever we're feeling. Now, if I can make one other note, when it comes to admitting our troubles, I would say be very careful about who you open up to. You know, you may have some friends you know well, some friends you don't know as well, and then you may know some friends who are people who can keep a secret, and then you may know friends who kind of gossip and have problems keeping secrets. You know, if you put all that together, you can probably start to think about some people in your life who you trust a little bit more than others. And I believe it can make a huge difference when it comes to the person you talk to. You know, if you talk to somebody, for example, who will listen to you and will keep a secret, then I believe there's much greater security in talking to that person opposed to taking a risk by talking to somebody who has a reputation for gossiping and has problems keeping secrets. If you talk to the right people, people who are smart and trustworthy, then they are very likely to keep a secret, at least we would hope, and also they are likely to give you some helpful advice and maybe even a solution to whatever you're going through. And lastly, never forget to talk to God about whatever problems you are dealing with. God knows what we're going through, but you know, if we talk to God as well and pray to Him, then God will guide us whenever we are going through a problem. And I will be talking much more about that when it comes to giving our problems to God in a later episode. Overall, I think everybody in life goes through a problem or has some kind of trouble at least once in their lives. And I know some problems can be much harder than others. And sometimes it's not always easy to open up to people whenever we are facing anything that's troubling us. But I strongly believe that if we open up to somebody we trust, and somebody smart, then we are helping ourselves out. And depending on who you talk to, the person you're talking to may even give you a very creative solution to whatever you are going through. With that, this is all I have to talk about for this topic. I certainly hope what I've had to talk about on this topic will come in handy. And come back with another word of advice video.